Okay, so graphic design. Um, basically, basically, a graphic is a visual representation. So if you look around you, you can see heaps of graphics. So you have Jennifer's posters. So it's of an image, text, and it will convey an idea. Here are some examples. So one type of graphic is a vector. So it's basically made from a series of shapes, curves, and points. It can be scalable, and these are a few of the file extensions for it. So some positives for a vector is it can be easily created. This is because it only mainly uses shapes and lines, whereas it doesn't need hand-drawn and heaps of detail. It can be scalable, so this means that it can be enlarged or shrunk. And what's really good about this is that when it is changed, when the size is changed, it doesn't necessarily affect the quality of the image as much as, for example, just a JPEG. That's basically the same thing. It's easy to re-edit, so when you re-edit, you don't need to create a new image. It has smaller file sizes, so this is really good for when you upload them onto websites, for example, so it doesn't take as long to load. And yeah, same thing. So it's better to print. So like I said, for scalability, this is good for if you have magazines or posters, so you can use the same image but have them large sizes or smaller sizes and the quality will still be schmick. Oh, and a bitmap is also another type of image. Basically, it's a series of zeros and ones, so the ones will represent a pixel, and so when it has the one, that pixel will appear, and then the group of pixels will then create an image.
Just before we finish, can you tell me which would be the best for a photograph, vector or bitmap?
A bitmap?
Good girl. Now everyone has to find out why.
Because that.
Yeah. So resolution, image size. So basically, the image size is like usually they measure in pixels for the quality of the image to be better when you put it into other medias. You can also, some softwares allow you to put it into centimeters or inches. This is so if you need to print something, the image will still have the quality that you need it to be. Color depth, the number of bits to indicate a color of a single pixel in a bitmap image, so you're able to identify different colors. And the number of each bits used for a color component of a single pixel, so yeah, able to identify.
So binary digits are ones and zeros, which are the smallest bit of data in a computer, and these ones and zeros can make up pixels, which is the smallest bit of an image, and so a lot of pixels will make a full image.
Okay, so file formats in graphic design. A TIFF, which stands for tag image format file, I think. Yeah. So this is typically used for exchanging raster graphics, or in other words, the bitmap images, between applications. Like if you want to copy a picture from one application into another, you can do that. So you can edit it as well, and it does not compress the files, so that obviously your quality is still maintained. A bitmap is a format commonly used to save image files. So a bitmap, they store a color in each pixel, like as Long said, what's it called? Many pixels would obviously make up a bigger picture. So this means that this format is typically used for graphics that are higher quality, have more color, and because of that, they tend to be really big. And obviously, if you want to rescale it, there's going to be some loss in quality. And yeah. A PCX or PICT. PCX stands for picture exchange, And this is basically a really old file format. It was the first bitmap image used in the Windows operating system, and now it's not really used anymore. It's been replaced with PNGs and GIFs.
So JPEG is a lossy file format, which means it can be compressed. So every time you save a JPEG, it will be compressed by removing the colors that or pixels that are close to each other. So it will basically remove everything that the human eye can't see, and also compress the file. But if you do that too many times, eventually you'll just like lose all the important data in the image, and which can't be recovered. But it's good for just posters or images with text on it, because it's has a small file size, and you can also use it on websites because it can load faster.
Just before you disappear, guys, can you see all the around the divers, all of these funny bits? That's actual there are lots of pixels throughout here. Did it not? No. That's the degradation. So when you start seeing blurry, waffly stuff around the edges of images, that's often because it's been JPEG too much.
So GIF or GIF is a sequence of images. So this means it can be played back to create motion or animation using lots of images, like a video. But this format has only 256 colors. So if you have a very vibrant image, when you convert it to this, it will lose a lot of its color. But it's mostly used when you need like animation or video in the form of an image. And PNGs are lossless, so they will not lose quality when you edit them or save them. And a major feature of a PNG is that they can be transparent. So you can have an image and cut out the background and then import it onto another image without having like the background color. And the transparency can vary in degrees. So you can have semi-opaque backgrounds instead of completely transparent. And they support two-dimensional interlacing, which makes them load twice as fast as GIFs. And these are some examples of just images. So when to use what? So PNGs and JPEGs are good to use when you need all the colors in an image. GIFs are good for just animated images. So JPEGs are used in text charts and screenshots because they don't need too much detail, but they can still convey what they are displaying. PNGs are good when you can't afford to lose a quality in an image, or if the image needs transparency. Bitmaps have high quality images, but they are really large. And TIFFs are for when you intend to edit a bitmap.
Okay, importing images. So clip art. I don't know if you remember, but like when we were in like year 2, when we were learning about how to use a computer on Microsoft Word, we were always like told to use clip art for all the pictures. Basically, it's like a gallery of images that are usually raster graphics or vector graphics, and they're made available to us for use royalty free. So they are usually like really simple images, and they're categorized into groups such as people and animals and buildings. And yeah, you just have to search up a keyword and then the clip art images will come up. Screen capture. This is basically an image of whatever is displayed on your computer screen or even like your mobile devices. And with some softwares, you can click an area, a selected area to screenshot. whereas with others, the entire screen is captured.
So basically, scanning is you are able to scan analog things like paper or books that you need to transfer into a digital media. This is for, like, for example, our project for other ways of viewing as well. And this could also be used to further add on to the analog material. Graphics tablet. So graphics tablet is used for graphic design, obviously, and mainly for creating organic shapes rather than your typical geometrical shapes, such as, like, squares and straight lines. This is easier for a designer to use because it's inputted straight into your device and it'll just be displayed on the screen. Image libraries. So this is where you're able to pay for royalty-free. Oh no, you pay for images at a higher quality when you need them. These are usually more in-depth than, say, other images from stock photos. So in comparison to the library, this is more generic photos, and there's some that you can get for royalty-free as well. And with the library photos, usually they'll take away more of the watermarks when you get them.
So image enhancement techniques. So this can involve filters, which is a technique to enhance or modify an image. So filters can include blurring, sharpening, noise removals, just to make the image look better, or it can even use filters to change the colors in an image to add color or remove color. So special effects use filters to apply artistic effects to an image. So some examples are making an old photo by using a sepia or black and white tone, making an image look like a painting or drawing. And anti-aliasing is basically removing those jagged or pixely effects in images. So when you zoom in on a raster image, which is like JPEG or PNG, you can see pixelation because it's made up of many pixels. So basically what this does...
I'll jump in on that for a second.
Yep.
The reason we see that is because the compressor that we use, the JPEG compressor, long story short, turns individual pixels into little boxes, and it can't draw a diagonal line particularly well. So therefore you get these jagged effects. They're called JAG. It's anti-aliasing, not aliasing. Tries to smooth them out to make them...
Usually by making a smaller square pixel in between to do a smaller step down.
Yeah, this makes the image look better and smoothens all the corners.
Image manipulation. So to rotate an image is basically to turn it from a specific anchor point, and the angle of rotation is usually measured in degrees. Color adjustment. So this is when you change the tones of your picture, and this can remove unwanted colors, or it can create a sort of mood for your picture or whatever, and it can produce interesting image effects.
Can I jump in? Has anyone heard of white balance?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you hear that? In your cameras?
Yep.
This light is green light, it's fluorescent. It's actually, your eyes do what that does. It filters everything out. You filter out daylight, you filter out tungsten light, which is your normal light globes. The white color balance, and in photography you can actually balance out the colour aberrations you get from different colour temperatures from light source.
Cool. So contrasting is basically taking the dark areas of an image and making it darker. So some people will use this to make their images sharper in a way. Skewing is where you take an existing image and you tilt it on one of its axes. So if you were to have a collage, for example, you could use this for a photo effect. Yeah.